Welcome back, friends. We are continuing on our Lavos Awakening playthrough. We are on the final stretch for sure. Our next fight, there are no enemy encounters. It's just a long walk to a super-powered Lavos spawn. And I looked into this fight a lot. Like, I wanted to find an interesting way to beat this fight. I just couldn't do it. I could not find an interesting way to kill him besides just being really cautious, really conservative, and I'll get into some of the reasons why in a minute, and then someone can reply and tell me how stupid I am for not realizing this. So for starters, the only defense I need is physical defense. I mean, I need some magic defense, but I don't need auto protect. So what I'm going to do is Frog's going to be spamming heal like a madman. So we're going to give him the haste helm so he can spam it even more often. And of course the moon armor so he can have auto protect, because all we're going to be dealing with is physical attacks. And then he does inflict status ailments, so we need amulet for status protection. So basically that's what I need, is I need protect, status protect, and something else for everybody. So for Robo, we're going to go with the safe helm and the Nova armor and the sunshades, and Chrono is going to go prism specs, moon armor, Aussie pants to max out that physical attack. And this fight is really kind of depressing. All I'm going to do is cast heal pretty much every turn Frog gets. And that's about it. And then use Confuse and Uzi Punch. Robo will occasionally pitch in with the healing where necessary. But yeah, it's just this nice long hallway and then another fight. Now, I said I would get into some of the things. Let me get there before I get into that. Some of the other strategies that I decided not to go with. I'm going to put a save state here, so I don't have to walk back as far if I die. So, as you know, for the lava spawn, you cannot attack the shell, you can only attack the head. The head is strong against, like, everything does reduce damage. Spin Strike only did about a little over 4,000. And basically I could like Spin Strike and then use Cure Wave and then Cure Wave and, you know, try to open it back up to where I'd have another opportunity. Next, his attacks are so strong that I pretty much ruled out using Marl or Luca because they just don't have high enough physical defense. For a similar reason, there's no point in using Magus because he has no single target text, right? He just can't output any damage, and he's got the next weakest defense after Luca and Marl. So basically it came down to Frog, Robo, Chrono, and Isla. And I wanted to be able to do dual techs, but you know, the only dual techs that sounded appealing were Dropkick and Spire. So Dropkick was fine, but that means Robo is on heal duty, and Robo just... Heal Beam is not as good as heal. So Robo just couldn't keep up with the healing all on his own, nearly as well as Frog can here. And the damage of Dropkick was 1700, which isn't that much higher than what I'm doing now, and it was way more MP intensive. So it's totally not worth it. Spire, similar issue. I'm relying on Robo to do all the healing, and it was actually better than Dropkick. I was doing around 1800 on average in my testing. I did look into some other techs with the girls before I ruled them out. Red Pin was doing about 1500 damage. Blaze Kick was actually the strongest attack, dual attack I could find. That's Fire 2 and Triple Kick. And once again, it means I'm using Luca, and her physical defense was just so low that even with Frog healing, sometimes she gets 2 needle attacks in a row, and Luca would die to that. So I've settled on Confuse plus Uzi Punch, which I'm doing about 1400 damage per volley, which means it's almost as strong as some of these double attacks, and Frog can do the healing. And that's why I need the status protection, is that attack right there. So I mean, really, this is it. Like, this is what I'm going to be doing, and it's boring, but it works. I didn't actually finish the fight. I just kind of went at this for about 5 minutes in a test run and said, oh, okay, good, it works. And it stopped. So hopefully it actually does work. Also, I don't know if there's a save point before the queen. Like, I don't want to just think I beat a boss and then walk into my death. Because I feel like there's a 5-panel fight somewhere, and I haven't done it yet. So I think I'm going to walk back to the save point I opened up with after this fight's over, just to save and call it a segment. So now you know the strategy, and that's all I'm going to be doing. So, I apologize. I'm not going to say much else, because there's nothing else to say. I guess there's something else to say, but the spin strike strategy, that was with Frog wearing the Prism Specs and the Moss and Moon, which means his heal would do about as little as Robo's heal beam. So basically it'd be spin strike, and then a lot of cure waves until finally I get a window to use spin strike again. And that window was so small that I would use the attack so infrequently that this actually just ends up working out better. And you can see why I put the haste helm on Frog. He would not be able to keep up this healing without the haste helm. Looks like he's not actually keeping up with it now. Like Frog's under all 9s because of the haste helm. He's taking a little more damage than Chrono and Robo are. Alright, I'm going to start using frame skipping where I can to try to speed this up a little bit. I don't want to do something stupid like pull the trigger too fast and kill myself though. Because if you attack the shell, oh man, you'll be upset. I'm going to dump a heal beam in. Just for good measure. I don't want to spend all this time using these weak ass attacks just to lose it all. Just feels good. Have everyone back at max. Did it again. Bastard. Doubling up those turns. Well, it's actually good when it does that chaos attacks. It does way less damage. It's like 267 or something instead of that other attack does in the mid 300s and high 300s to Frog. Frame rate, I'll be like that. I might be being a little cautious with these heal beams from Robo, but god, this fight is just tedious. It's not worth risking anything. See, yeah, he just doubled up on me. So now I'm really glad I did it. I mean, I could have cast a heal before he did those, don't get me wrong. But feels good to have that heal immediately after rather than waiting. God damn it, no matter how big I write the note that I need to decrease the battle speed, because with haste and how fast the enemies are at this point, like, it's really worth it to have the battle speed all the way at the bottom. I still have it at 5. It's like 5 is 1 is the fastest, 8 is the slowest. I have it at 5. It needs to be at 8 for these fights. I even wrote it in capital letters into a circle around it. Seriously. You missed that. So many needles. Alright, Frog. I need you to be faster here. I'll let Chrono use the Hyper Ether. Better safe than sorry. Don't want to redo this fight. In the slightest. Hey. I'm getting nervous. I'm afraid I'm gonna get too zealous and die. Like, why did you make this fight so long? Like, you know, make it long enough that it's clear that you've established a pattern that works. Don't just punish me by saying if I get impatient and start slipping on the cures. Alright, here we go. Now the battle speed's nice and slow. So fast. Oh, just be dead already. Finally. God, that was awful. Okay. Ha! That's a cool amount of experience points. I like it. Prism Helm! Safe Helm! Oh, another Safe Helm. That's actually kind of nice. Because I only had the one, so now I can have 2 girls in my team. I'm afraid that door is the 5-panel fight, and I'm not set up for that. So we're going to run backwards. All the way to the save point. Totally worth it. Wait, am I out of shelters? No, it just doesn't think I'm on the save point. Alright, kind of a boring boss fight, but it is what it is. I'm going to do a scouting segment, and then I'll come back and do the next one.